What is up and welcome to a very merry edition of Worth a Watch with me, Anthony Flores. I hope you all are enjoying the holidays, ladies and gentlemen. Christmas is right around the corner, and I gotta say, I have a lot to be thankful for this holiday season. Watching a good Christmas movie can make a lot of people feel better. And the little movie that I definitely enjoyed so far this season is the new Disney Plus original film, Noelle, starring Anna Kendrick, Bill Hader, Billy Eichner, Julie Haggerty, and Shirley MacLaine. All these Christmas movies feel like they kind of blur together. They're always about saving Christmas. They're always about something like that. And this movie's no exception. It definitely plays a lot of the same beats of some of those movies. And it's got some mediocre CGI with reindeer. And yeah, it's definitely a TV movie. I definitely can see why they pulled it from being in the theater and just putting it on Disney Plus. I get that. That's probably the most negative things I can say about it. Is the CGI could have definitely used a bit of a boost in rendering and more detail. Despite those complaints, though, I think it's a nice little movie. It's what you call cute and adorable, and Anna Kendrick is cute and adorable. Honestly, she is a really fantastic actor, and I've always enjoyed her. And even despite some of the movies she's been in, she's never usually bad because she does a really great performance as Noelle. I think she portrays this character who's a little bratty, a little childish, but at the same time, she means well. She's very eager and wanting to help her family, in particular her brother, played by Bill Hader, who is next in line to be Santa after their father, Santa Claus, passes away, because that's the main course of the movie right there. He is forced to be Santa, essentially, even though if he's reluctant and not really wanting to do it. In a time of stress, while speaking with Noelle, he's just like, I don't know if I can do this. She's just like, yeah, I think you'll be fine. You just got to take a break. And by break, he takes off to Arizona without telling anybody, leaving the North Pole in chaos without a Santa Claus days before Christmas. And they pick their cousin Gabe, the IT guy, to be the next Santa because he's a guy. That is, again, wokeness. Sorry, we'll get to this more. We'll save more of that later. Anyways, that's a bit of a throwaway line they mention. Why does it have to be that he's a male Kringle, because the Kringle family and stuff, they're the ones who are supposed to be Santas. So anyways, Noelle and Elf Polly, played by Shirley MacLaine, they hop on the sleigh and take off to Arizona to try to find Nick, and they enlist the help of a private detective, played by this guy. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. I've never seen him in any other stuff, but he is essentially just like almost meant to be the love interest, but not quite. So from there, she has a lot of interactions with people, because again, she doesn't leave the North Pole, so she's interacting with people for the first time like this, whether it was with the detective or whether it's with the detective's son, who was going through a hard time because of his father's divorce, and she's starting to get this feeling, this instinct about people, and as well as speaking with children of different languages. There's a nice moment where she is in a shelter. She happens to come across this little family. She starts talking to a child, but turns out the child is deaf. She is signing to her, and then she starts signing back, and then she's just like, whoa, how am I doing this? There is more little nuanced moments where she's realizing, I have all these kind of cool things, but okay. But she's still so dead set on just trying to get her brother back, even though if he doesn't want to come back, she finally finds him, that he's just like, yep, that I'm still not doing the job. I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm not doing it. There takes a bit of a dark turn in a psychiatric hospital because she gets into a fight with a cop at one point, just trying to support her brother to be Santa. She gets into a fight in a mall, and that's what ends up there. She's talking about Santa, North Pole, and stuff, so of course, naturally, kind of like in the Santa Claus, that shit got dark really fast. I don't know how I saw that movie so much as a kid, but that kid in that movie was definitely, they were pushing the idea he is psychologically disturbed. That's really fucked up. I don't know how I saw that so much without understanding that as a kid, but she is just at a rock bottom there and not knowing what to do. But her brother Nick and Elf Polly and the detective help her out. They head back to the North Pole, and after breaking out of the hospital, the chaos at the North Pole is pretty bad. Gabe is all things analytical stuff and scientific data, and understanding that and trying to make that kind of decision making of children, deciding if children are naughty or nice with just mathematical data. That is one thing that Julie Haggerty's Mrs. Claus is just like, no, this is not the way. You have to do this by empathy, by emotion and understanding of children, not this. And when they come back and are just entering the elf council's hall and realizing, yeah, Nick still doesn't want to be Santa, but he declares Noelle be Santa. And everybody's just like, what? This is where my favorite part of the movie came from. This moment is where it all boiled down to this wokeness of an idea. She is meant to be Santa. And everybody kind of felt, of course, a woman Santa Claus. But then they kind of just think, well, as long as the Elf Council decrees that as long as she answers this question of what does Christmas mean to her, this is where they can just truly decipher if she is meant to be the next Santa. That question is answered in a brilliant little monologue that brought a tear to my eye. It definitely, just to paraphrase here, she expresses how she saw that not every family is happy. Some families are in a very bad place and state of mind. Particularly, like she's speaking, of course, of the little girl that was deaf with her mom who was out of a job that was mentioned in the middle of the movie. The kid of the detective who's going through his parents' divorce and dealing with that, traditions changing, and it's just scary for kids like that too, dealing with divorce. And a few other things that she mentions are just like, it's not all about presents, it's not all about, stuff, even though she loves presents so much, but still, she knows that Christmas can be tough for some. All that and more really hit for me, and it made me feel happy and sad at the same time. And that's where the movie won me over even more. I was just like, you know what, this whole idea of like a female Santa, I think it's also very nice because some people do be Santa for their family, whether they're man or woman. They are there to dress up in the beard and everything if they want, or just in an outfit of some kind. And they're there to be Santa for their kids or family or friends, whoever. It's a very nice sentiment. And even more so, what I loved about this ending to the movie is that she is not overly eager anymore. She actually has some doubt. She doesn't know if the suit will literally fit her anymore to do this job. And they express that, well, the suit will fit you when you fit it, if I'm paraphrasing that right. And there is another wonderful moment where she goes back to the shelter to deliver the presents. She accidentally wakes everybody up, and she freaks out because, like, holy crap, they're expecting this big jolly guy with a beard to show up, but here she is, a tiny little woman. And it's such, again, a very nuanced moment where it's a little corny, but its sentiment and message is nice, where they all just simply say, Merry Christmas, Santa, to her. And she has a teary-eyed moment, and she felt great about that. You feel good for her, too, that she actually is succeeding at being Santa, and the suit actually ends up fitting her. And that's pretty much the gist of the movie itself. I love that it was a nice coming-of-age story, just finding your place in life type of deal. Learning more about Christmas is not more than just presents and Christmas cards. It's a small part of it, yes, but I love that message, and there's a lot of good things in it. Some of the performances are definitely a little just kind of scattershot. I think Billy Eichner honestly didn't have a lot to do here. Bill Hader also probably couldn't do a lot because he was probably filming It Chapter 2 or something. He definitely was not in the movie as much as I thought he was going to be. But it definitely rested all on Anna Kendrick's Noelle character, and she sold it for me. And there's a lot of nice little moments throughout the movie, like I've mentioned throughout this whole review. Despite me spoiling it, I hope you all did already see the movie. I feel that it's just one of these movies that I wanted to talk about in depth a little bit, because despite the wokeness, and some people could just roll their eyes and say, oh God, a female Santa. Oh no! I like that idea for once. Disney, and along with a lot of other companies, shove this woke idea down our throats. But I always say, if you're going to do that, have a good character. Have a nice heart of the character down. Having their layers of personality down first. Don't make the wokeness their entire identity. Don't make the whole movie the entire identity of wokeness either. Noelle, it's a pretty solid little Christmas TV movie, whatever you want to call it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you did as well. It's a solid little movie that I didn't think I was going to enjoy as much. I've already seen it twice, so there's the thing. Feel free to let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts on Noelle, and if you didn't like it or did like it, whatever. Feel free to let me know. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm Anthony Flotis with Worth a Watch, and keep going to the movies.